How different are they to what we've got, and how much will people have to adjust around them?
They're very different, yeah. And I don't think it's that much of a coincidence, you know, that since we stopped using both in the Burnley game and the Arsenal game, we've looked more defensively sound with a bit more of a Trent type fullback on the right side and Szoboszlai. I think the danger that you've got with players like this is he wants to be there and he wants to be there based on what they did at the previous clubs. That was Frimpong and that was Kerkers for Bournemouth as well. Both final third weapons, if you want.
Yeah.
And I think we saw bits of that in pre-season. Kept getting done by the likes of AC Milan and teams like that, Crystal Palace as well. And Slot gets asked about it at one point, and he says at no point should they both go, basically. So in other words, if Frimpong is there, Kerkers should probably be able, ignore everyone else, Kerkers should probably be about there. Something like that, and vice versa. So they kind of need to be, you know, that old school, that training drill where the back four are holding a rope. Yeah, well, they kind of need to be on a weird rope, like where you know they're kind of like in synergy or whatever. And I think you're going to have problems if they both go like that. One thing I've been surprised by so far is how often Kerkers has been like part of the safety net of the team. I don't think he's too used to that, and I think his best qualities are in the final third, really. But because of how offensive this fella's been a lot of the time, whether it's been Frimpong or whether it's been Szoboszlai using midfielder, we know Conor Bradley likes to go too. So Kerkers has been asked to sit quite often, and he's done okay sitting, but doing it, we've seen less of his assist quality and more of his, I am going to kill you in my attempts to win the ball. So he's gone to ground quite a lot, he's been defending quite a lot. Targeted, you could argue, in certain situations. But from an opposition perspective, and I always like to throw that in there, you've got to worry about them. Like, you know, if you come up against the team and the fullbacks are Kerkers and Frimpong, you're shaking in your boots, really.
Yeah.
But establishing a balance with the two of them is tricky.
Yeah, it is, because obviously they're probably coming from a place where they're given a lot more license because they had maybe a bit more balance on the other side. So Frimpong, like you say, is allowed, you know, to play up here because he's almost a wild card in that Leverkusen team, isn't he? And he's the one who's able to sort of go and do that because it's solid around here. Kerkers was one of the stars of that Bournemouth team. Obviously, they had a lot of stars, but you know he's the one who gets in Premier League team of the year and stuff like that. So he's almost like a wild card in there. Whereas now it is the two of them. They just need to be a bit more aware of each other, I guess, and aware also of the fact that, you know, we want to get these guys on the ball as well. We don't want to set up a midfield necessarily that's you know going to be like this all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you think, well, McAllister, you want him up here if you can. Yeah,
well, the thing is as well, going back to the Vert show that we've recorded, I've already said that Vert roams quite a lot compared to Szoboszlai. So if you've got both of them going like that, and you've got Vert, you know, over there somewhere or whatever, you know what I mean? That's a bit of an issue. So this is what happens when you have 4 new starters in an 11. You know, you have to deal with these teething issues. And Liverpool, I think that the classic line is fixing the plane while it's flying, and Liverpool are doing that, and they're doing it extremely well, by the way, because they've won every game so far at the time we're recording today. It's just maintaining that and making sure that you're still progressing tactically while winning games. But on this side as well, another thing with Frimpong, a few people have touched on this, I think Carragher's mentioned this on Monday Night Football, is like when you are attacking, when Salah's got the ball or whatever, Trent would always stay there, and he would be a threat from there, but he would also be cover from there as well. I think with Frimpong and Kerkers, probably more so than Robertson, they both want to overlap and they both want to underlap. That's good against a low block that isn't going to move. And as we're recording now, Liverpool have just had Burnley, they've got Atletico Madrid next, and they've got Everton after that. So you're getting a week of that. But again, going back to it, if you lose the ball, then there's no one there anymore. So you can get attacked down that side, and so it's about trade-offs. I think the part of the problem signing a team of forwards, a team of attacking players, is getting them all to realise that on the defensive end, you have to be a collective that extinguishes the fires. Because if you all just do what you want to do, then literally everyone's up here and Virgil's here, like that meme where the fella's just holding the sword, getting like people running towards him, like so.